Buddy was a golden retriever, a breed known for its friendly and gentle nature, with a heart full of sunshine and a spirit that could brighten anyone's day. He lived in the quiet town of Maplewood, a place where everyone knew each other. Everyone knew Buddy. He was the friendliest dog in town, always ready to greet anyone with a wagging tail and a joyful bark. Buddy loved chasing butterflies in the park, his favorite pastime on sunny afternoons. He loved greeting the mailman with a happy bark, making sure no one passed by without a friendly hello. And he loved napping under the warm sunbeams on the porch, dreaming of his next adventure. Buddy lived with Mrs. Harper, a kind-hearted woman who adored him. Mrs. Harper had a kind smile and rosy cheeks that made everyone feel at home. She baked the best apple pies in Maplewood, a treat everyone in town looked forward to. Buddy loved the smell of apples, cinnamon, and love that filled their home, making it a warm and inviting place. One sunny morning, Mrs. Harper was baking a fresh loaf of bread, filling the air with a delicious aroma. The smell wafted through the kitchen window, tickling Buddy's nose and sparking his curiosity. He couldn't resist the delicious scent, it was simply too tempting. Buddy peeked through the kitchen door, his eyes wide with anticipation. Mrs. Harper was busy at the counter, her back turned. He saw his chance. With a wag of his tail, Buddy snuck out the gate, his heart set on finding the source of that wonderful smell. He was determined to find the source of that wonderful smell, his nose leading the way. The aroma of freshly baked bread led Buddy down the street. His nose twitched with excitement as he followed the delicious scent. His nose twitched with excitement. He could almost taste the warm, crusty bread. The smell grew stronger with each step. Buddy's tail wagged faster as he got closer. He wagged his tail, happy to be on this unexpected adventure. The world was full of new scents and surprises. The scent led him to a charming bakery called the Golden Loaf. The smell was intoxicating. Buddy's mouth watered. Buddy peeked through the bakery window. He saw trays of golden brown bread. He saw trays of golden brown bread. The sight made his tail wag even more. A little girl inside giggled, pointing at Buddy. Her eyes sparkled with delight. "Mummy, look! A doggy!" she exclaimed. Her excitement was contagious. Buddy wagged his tail, happy to spread a little joy. He loved making new friends. He decided to explore more of the town. There were so many more adventures waiting for him. Buddy trotted down the sidewalk, his tail wagging happily. He passed by colourful flower shops, admiring the blooms. He sniffed at the delicious smells coming from the ice cream parlour nearby. He even barked hello to Mr. Thompson, the grumpy old postman. Turning a corner, Buddy bumped into a fluffy grey cat. The cat hissed, startled. Buddy wagged his tail apologetically, trying to make amends. "Hello," Buddy barked softly. "I'm Buddy, what's your name?" The cat narrowed its eyes. "Whiskers," she finally meowed. Buddy and Whiskers spent the rest of the afternoon exploring the town together. Back at home, Mrs. Harper realized Buddy was gone. Her heart sank as she called out his name, hoping he would come running. "Buddy!" she called out, her voice laced with worry. She stepped outside, her eyes scanning the garden for any sign of him. She looked around the house, checking every room, every corner, and every hiding spot. He was nowhere to be found. The house felt emptier without his presence. Mrs. Harper checked the backyard and the front porch. Nobody. She even looked under the porch, hoping he might be hiding there. Panic started to set in. She bit her nails and paced back and forth, her mind racing with worry. Word spread quickly through Maplewood that Buddy was missing. Neighbors gathered, discussing the situation and offering their help. Everyone joined in the search. The community came together, determined to find Buddy and bring him home. Mr. Thompson, the grumpy postman, even checked his mailbag twice, just in case. It was a rare sight to see him so concerned. Meanwhile, Buddy was starting to feel homesick. He wandered through the park, feeling more and more lost. He missed Mrs. Harper's warm hugs and gentle pats. The thought of her made him feel even more lonely. He missed his cozy bed and his squeaky toys. The familiar comforts of home seemed so far away. Just then he heard a familiar sound, Mrs. Harper's whistle. It was faint but unmistakable. Buddy's ears perked up. He listened intently, his heart racing with hope. He followed the sound as fast as his paws could carry him. His legs moved swiftly, driven by the desire to be home. He ran through the park, past the bakery, and finally he saw her. Mrs. Harper stood there, her eyes filled with tears of relief. "Buddy!" Mrs. Harper cried, scooping him into her arms. She held him tightly, never wanting to let go. Buddy licked her face, overjoyed to be home. His tail wagged furiously, expressing his happiness. He was safe, he was loved, and he was home. The ordeal was over and they were together again. From that day forward, Buddy never strayed too far from Mrs. Harper's side. He had learned his lesson. The adventure had been fun, but there was no place like home. Buddy knew that now, and he cherished every moment with Mrs. Harper.